Hey guys, Gordon here. In this video, I'm going to go through our solar system piece by piece with you, from our solar panels up on the roof down to our charge controllers, into the batteries, out through the inverter, and out to the sub panel. Basically, just going to give you a rundown of what the wire we used, all that kind of stuff. We're using the Sungold 18 kW big 18,000 watt inverter, 5 100 amp batteries, and 4 charge controllers, 100 amp charge controllers that can handle 5,200 watts each. Just remember, guys, I'm not a licensed anything, so don't do as I do. It's all for entertainment purposes. But hey, if you learn something, it's even better. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Hit the subscribe. The next thing we're probably doing is a water wheel. The next big project we're probably going to be doing after we get the solar completely done. It's not completely, our solar's not completely done, but it is really close. I just got to put 10 more panels up, but it's just too hot right now to get up there on that roof, so I'll do it later, in a couple weeks maybe. But the system's up and running, all but one charge controller and those 10 panels. So anyway, guys, on with it. Hit the subscribe button if you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, here's a rundown of our solar system so far. So far we have 22 panels up on the roof of the 32 that we have. 20 of these are actually active. These last two right here are not hooked up yet. They're in series right now, but they're not hooked up to a combiner box. So the way we wired these is we have 4 panels wired in series, and we basically took so that far end down there, we have the bottom 2 and the top 2 wired in series, and I did them that way instead of like across the bottom. I did them in groups of 4 going from the north end of the house to the south end of the house, because at about 5 o'clock those trees right there start shading them. So I wanted them to die out in groups as the sun as the shade hit them in the afternoon. So the last 4 down there, so 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, are wired in series. So that means from the hot to the cold of one panel, hot to the cold to the next panel, hot to the cold or negative of the next panel, and so on. Okay, so those 4 are wired in series, and then they're home ran the wire into the combiner box, the fuse combiner box. Okay, and then another set of 4 wired in series to keep my voltages where I need them, and keep my watts up, but keep the voltages down. This is why you wire them in series. So the next 4 wired in series. The wires then come over to the combiner box, the same combiner box. We have 4 combiner boxes up here. I got to do a little more laundering of some cable here as soon as I don't know. I'll either do it now or after the sun goes down this afternoon, because it gets hot up here. So those 8 panels then are in one combiner box, and the reason why there's only 8 per combiner box is because they're 550 watts each. So during the heat of the day, this stuff is very important. I mean, during the heat of the day, those 8 panels can produce about 4,500 watts, DC watts. Okay, our charge controllers can only handle 5,200 watts. And so we have 4 charge controllers down there. So 5,200 watts maximum. So I made them at 44 or 4,500 watts is what these work out to. So I have a little play down there in the down in the charge controllers. Okay, so first 4 down there are one group. We'll say 1A. The second 4 are 1B. Right? They're in the same combiner box, the same charge controller, but they're wired in series and then paralleled up in the combiner box. So then the third set of 4 and the fourth set of 4 is the next combiner box. And then this next one, I only have 4 of them hooked up right now in the combiner box number 3. And then these last 2 will go in also with that group in that combiner box when I wire them up. And then I'll cut off these excess unistrut here. I'm going to leave that one long to run my cables on, but these here down here, these will get cut off. And then up here where I'm standing, there'll be 10 more panels that go on this roof. Okay, so I'm going to take you down below and show you the room downstairs. All right, so from the roof, all our cables come down. These are the PV cables that come down to the combiner, or from the combiner boxes to the charge controllers. So the negative side for each combiner box, come out of the combiner box with one set of PV cables. The negative goes directly into the charge controllers. The hot side goes into these, so I can shut them off. Okay, so right now, number one has 8 panels on it. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's producing 2,300 watts DC power. Okay, and scroll through. It says the batteries are at 53 volts. It shows the charge, the solar panels charging the batteries. Batteries are then powering the load. So it says this machine is producing 41 amps, DC amps right now. And it's not warm yet, but during the heat of the day, this will start reducing the power. It lets go through to the batteries. So the batteries are probably about a quarter charged, maybe half charged right now. So it's basically producing all the power out these main big cables up to the bus bar up here, that then feeds to that breaker and goes into the bus bar on the battery bank, charging the batteries. Okay, so this one, like I said, is producing 41 amps DC power, and right now we're at 2,300 watts. Okay, number two is this one. It's producing also 2336, about the same. So it should also be producing. It should also be producing about 41 amps. So right now that's 82 amps going into these, charging these DC batteries. Now this third one only has 4 panels on it, so we could probably figure it being half of what the other ones are. Yep, 20 amps is what it's producing. So right now we have 100 amps out of these 3 controllers. We have 100 amps powering, charging these batteries. Okay, and then it's producing 1,100 watts. These are 2340. So yeah, just about half of what these are doing. Okay, so this one has nothing on it yet. This is the other part that we will be hooking up. I don't know, I've got some old man softball I'm playing next weekend, so it might be the weekend after that we actually get this completed, this portion. But as you can see, these 3 combiner boxes with just the 20 right now, I'll put on those other 2 today, tie it into this. So that would give us 22 solar panels up there actually working right now in the summer. And it's basically these batteries get us through the night. And these right here, I mean, it's 8:30 in the morning and they're already charged the batteries. The batteries were at 8% this morning. And now, let's see what they are now. So right now they're at 24%. So in an hour's time, they went from, about an hour and a half's time, they went from 7 or 8% to 20 to a quarter. You can see down here these green lights blinking. It's, I mean, this morning this first one was blinking, showing that it was below 10. So anyway, those are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And right now we have on this inverter, it's 25% of its max, 27% of its max capacity of what it can produce. So let me run this by you guys again. Our charge controllers, each one of them has a main cable coming out of it. And those are 2 AUG, not 2 aught, but 2 AUG, 2 gauge wires coming out. I have 8 gauge PV wires coming in. This is just a bigger jumper. It's just because of what I had extra, so I used it. So that's going in, feeding the hot side from the PV. It comes out on 2 aught wire, goes up to the bus bar. I got these bus bars off Amazon. The 2 of them, the set with all the hardware, was like $35. I just bought some neoprene rubber and covered them. So then all 4 of those combiner boxes are tied into this. And now if I ever want to put in, and I'm trying to engineer a water wheel because we have a year-round creek. So I'm engineering a water wheel that will come into here also. And so I have room that I can plug the water wheel into this also. Okay, so then I'm coming out of that on 2-aught wire. So 2/0 wire to go down and feed these battery banks, because this could be, you know, if each one of these were to produce 100 amps each, that would be 400 amps that these could produce through this. So this is going to be a pretty big wire going to feed this. I have them reduced down. I don't think they would ever produce that much, but they are capable of it. So then those wires come down, tie into the bus bars on the battery bank, and then all the batteries are tied to it. Okay, so that's the charge side of my system. Then at the outgoing side, this one, another 2-aught wire, goes up and goes into this 400 amp breaker, and then that goes into the charge control, or to the inverter. Over here on this outgoing side, I do have a breaker here. It's a 100 amp breaker. I think I'm going to need to replace that. I ordered another one of these for here because, like I said, right now we're pushing like 90 amps to this right now. It's not even the hottest part of the day. I mean, these will start to restrict as these get full. These will start to restrict, and these will start to warm up, restricting the power so you don't overload the batteries. But this, I'm thinking I'm going to replace that with, I'm going to replace that with one of these, a 400 amp, because this is a 100 amp. Wasn't thinking there, I got the wrong thing. So anyway, I'm going to switch that out. So, where were we? Coming out of the batteries, up here on 2-aught wire, feeding into the 400 amp breaker, into the bottom of the inverter. This, I am so happy with this machine. It is no frills. It produces power. It's all it does. It produces power. It is a hybrid inverter. What that means is it has a built-in charger in it. So if my solar panels are not creating enough power in the winter, I have a 100 amp breaker right here in the main commercial power that will come out, goes in the wall, and it comes out right here. And it feeds into this, as you can see right here. This top one right here, it says it has 243 volts coming into it. It's not using any of that because you can see here it's running off battery into the system at 25%, the house. Basically, the only thing I do not have on this right now is my hot tub right here, my range, my oven, and the hot water heater. Okay, this is like the dishwasher. That's part of my office. I'm going to leave that on it. And then these right here are all cadet heaters in the house. I'm going to probably take off this one and put on here. And I might take the hot tub, put in here, and the water heater I might put into this panel, which is my sub panel. Running every light in the house, every outlet in the house, the shop, the wood shop, our well. I have 2 wall cadet heaters on it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here. Right now, we are running the pump it's at 32%. And I know that I am running the pump in the pond, filling up the pool. I'm running the circulation pump in the pool. The pond, the koi pond pump is running. And I'm not sure if, my wife's doing anything in the house. I mean, obviously you got fans running. She probably does not have any air conditioners on yet. Like I said, our whole house is electric. We do not have a heat pump. So basically this machine, it's 18 kW. It produces power, and a lot of it. I've never seen it above, I think, 43 or 44% of its capacity running. So that is our system in a nutshell. So basically I have this inverter. So I have power coming into it, the power coming out of it. So these are my 2 legs for power, and then my white is the neutral. Coming into this panel, obviously these are all hot. That's not a negative. That's a hot. That's a hot. I should put a, no, that's right, a black, a red, and then a white is the neutral. I get kind of lost sometimes talking about DC power, where that would be hot, that'd be cold, but then you go to AC power, that's hot, and that's negative, neutral. So anyway, that's our system. I am so happy with it. I think after I get the water wheel built, I might put in another bank of batteries for wintertime. I built this for winter, basically. We live here in Oregon. I built it for wintertime. So with 32 panels in the winter, I'm hoping it keeps up with what we need. If not, I'll have to get more batteries. Or I was also thinking about in the summer, because I have way more power than I need in the summer, taking the PV, like maybe taking 2 of these panels, 2 of these charge controllers. I was thinking about taking those off of the system in the summer and putting in a secondary on-grid system that I can do net metering with. Like I said, I already have the panels, and there are overabundance of them. Right now, like I said, we're running on 20 of them, and I have 12 left that we're not even using yet, and I have plenty of power. So I think I might look into that next year. Let's see how the winter goes, and I might do that. Like I said, I'm really thinking I want to move my water heater and a cadet heater at least into this panel, the sub panel. I'm not sure about the hot tub. The bill for that hot tub on economy mode is about $1.45, $1.75 per day from my commercial power. So maybe I take that off of there and put it on. I don't know yet. I know at night, because it runs 1 hour every 12 hours. It runs for 1 hour. If it needs heat, it turns on the heater. Otherwise, it's just circulating water. But so if I reset it at 5:30 at night, because I want it warm when I get home, that means it's running at 5:30 in the morning before the sun comes up, and that could really drain these batteries. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do there yet. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I could always use more subscribers. Like I said, the next major project we'll probably be doing after we get this one done is building a water wheel. I work for a phone company, so I have access to 8-foot tall metal cable reels and 5-foot tall round metal cable reels. And I'm gonna probably do some welding and make a water wheel out of it and tie it into this too. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and have a great, glorious day. God bless you. Okay, so here's an update. Batteries are full now. So these charge controllers are now basically notched down all the power, all the amperage it's put into the batteries. Remember, this was pushing like 130 amps, DC amps to the batteries, the 3 of these. So now that the batteries are full, these are now restricting the flow to the batteries. These are Sungold Power 100 amp charging output. They can handle 5200 watts DC input each.